Well, the Melbourne Holocaust Museum has reopened. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and the opposition leader Peter Dutton both used the event to condemn the uptick of anti-Semitism in Australia amid the Israel-Gaza conflict.
As the conflict continues, anti-Semitism is on the rise, but we will not let it find as much as a foothold here. Australia will always denounce it and reject it utterly.
Joining us live now is the museum's CEO, Jayne Josem. Jayne, really appreciate your time. Thank you. Talk about timing. This reopening, no doubt, even more significant considering it does come at a time when the Jewish community is grieving those lost on October 7 and a rise that we're seeing right around the world in anti-Semitism.
That's really sad, actually. We had wanted to, I guess, to what degree celebrate the reopening of a Holocaust museum, but we wanted to acknowledge it. We really didn't imagine we'd be doing so in these circumstances. Very challenging, but timely.
As we've been reporting, absolutely, and as we've been reporting today, Jayne, today on the streets of Melbourne, we're going to see hundreds of students skipping school to protest in support of Palestinians. Do you think our kids here in Australia today are educated enough about the horrors of the Holocaust, about anti-Semitism? I assume your doors at the museum are well and truly open for schools wanting to take students through at this particular time.
Well, we were at a point 6 or 7 years ago where there were more demand for people to visit the museum than we could manage, so that's the reason behind the rebuilding. But obviously in Victoria, Holocaust education is mandatory, and a part of that does teach about the horrors of anti-Semitism and, you know, of racism in general. So all I can say is, well, not enough people, not enough Victorians are really across some of these issues. And the complexities of the situation in the Middle East is way beyond what we can educate about in our museum. But what we do teach are critical thinking skills. We present the evidence, some of which you can see on the screen here, and we try and teach those skills that you learn as a historian, which is how to evaluate the material in front of you. Where is it coming from? What's the source of it? And where else can I look for other information to perhaps build a fuller picture of what's going on, whether it's a historical event or something going on today?
Yeah, it sounds like it's definitely worth a visit for anybody there in Melbourne or travelling there soon. Have you had to step up security there at the museum? Had you been worried that you could be targeted by pro-Palestinian advocates at the moment?
Sadly, we, like, Jewish schools in Melbourne have always had security, have needed security, which is, it's sad to think that in Australia you would need that. But we have, yes, it's stepped up appropriately for the moment, as it is when there are crises like these. But I will say, look, our survivors set this museum up 40 years ago. They wanted to share the stories of what happened to them. They want to make the world a better place. They believe in peace and respect for all. And those are the lessons that we teach here. And, those are what our survivors will continue to advocate for so long as they're alive. And we'll carry those messages on. We had a beautiful smoking ceremony. You can see out the front of the building, cleansed the building, and our elders took great part in that. And it was a beautiful start to an amazing day.
Yeah, and good to see the bipartisan support there that you were offered yesterday from both of the major parties. Jayne Josem, really appreciate you joining us. Thanks again.
Thank you.